Minecraft, a game that took the world by storm and has become a household name since its release in 2011. With seemingly limitless potential, players have adapted to countless playstyles, whether it be regular survival Minecraft, the wonder of mods like the recently popularized Origin mod, the battlefields of Hypixel, or the creative worlds we once used to make diamond structures, only to claim, no, I swear I did this in survival, even though it's a super flat world and you're obviously lying. In a game this large, you'd think there would be some sort of established lore other than you kill the dragon to win the game. And yet, Minecraft has no official lore. There is no official story behind the game we all know and love. Maybe the creators hid the story so deep within the game and made it so complicated that no one could ever hope to figure it out. Well, at least until late 2019. A YouTuber named MatPat began crafting theories about the yet undiscovered Minecraft lore in late 2019, shortly after the resurrection of Minecraft when PewDiePie began his famous playthrough. I was tasked by my chat to dive into these videos and give my thoughts. The following footage was filmed live on my Twitch. The link is on the screen and in the description below. Also, as a side note before we begin, only a small percentage of people who watch my videos are actually subscribed to my channel, so if you like the content, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. It's free and you can always change your mind later. Thank you, and without further ado, let's get into the video.
So, in prep for today, I found a playlist of every Minecraft game theory video in order. There's 13 of these. We're gonna watch them all the way through, and then I'll give my thoughts on this. So, I see no reason to waste any time. Let's just jump right on in.
Literally no one.
And I'm gonna just go ahead and move myself down here while this happens. Wait.
Oh, come on. You gotta be kidding me.
Unless that's even more in the way. Who knows? I might have to turn the face cam on now for this.
Welcome to Game Theory. Call it nostalgia, call it a return to a more innocent time, call it a desire to trend right off of PewDiePie's success playing the game that just overthrew Fortnite. Rest in peace, Jurgen. But you absolutely heard that right. According to Google Trends, Minecraft is now on top of Fortnite.
Hey!
And here on YouTube. Like
I wonder if that still is the case. Chat, I'm curious. Right. Fortnite. Hey! It's still the case. Oh, I don't know what happened June 14th, but it was a dark day, I guess. Minecraft is just dominating the scene, honestly.
Yeah, Minecraft, on the other hand, is endlessly fascinating, because for a game that's now 10 years old, happy anniversary, by the way, its lore still hasn't been cracked. Oh, sure, there's plenty of... To my knowledge, no one has truly been able to piece together a final, all-encompassing, all mysteries of this world tied together lore solve.
And that right there, that is why I find Minecraft, or maybe not why, like the total reason. This is a big reason why I find Minecraft as a game so fascinating. It doesn't have a set story, which is why I love the game theory, like all of this stuff. That's why I love all this, because it provides insight. Well, maybe it doesn't provide insight, but it theorizes insight into a game that I've enjoyed for a good while and a half now, and I think that that's really cool. I've actually got a theory about this video. About this one in particular. Or this one in particular.
Our first step when it comes to solving Minecraft is tackling the Enderman. Originally programmed into the game as a joking reference to Slenderman, these tall, dark, and handsome creatures...
Okay.
Just tall and dark.
MatPat down bad?
I guess, have become the cornerstone upon which all other lore in this game is built. Solving what the Endermen are is essential if we have any hope of truly coming to the definitive solution as to the hidden
lore as a new meaning after DreamSMP. Yeah.
The design of survival mode, the gameplay decisions, even ancillary canonical content in books like the Bestiary. Surprise, surprise, I have myself a theory as to what they actually are. Admittedly, it's not a new...
Also, can we talk about the fact that no one has bothered to investigate it until MatPat with stuff like the Bestiary? Because that gets referenced a lot in these videos. Like, a lot.
Theory. But what it lacks for in originality, it more than makes up for in evidence and observation. It is my proposal to you today that the Endermen aren't aliens. They're not ghosts. I almost thought that they were insects, but that one didn't pan out. What they are is human. They're brilliant humans. Humans who are in trouble, a literal fight for their lives and needed an escape. But in the process, they suffered a horrific fate, reducing them to the moaning shadows of a fallen civilization that they are now. So
I just want to know, does MatPat have some sort of English degree? What? Does this man... How is he so good with words? I don't know. I don't understand. I'm jealous.
So, in the true spirit of Minecraft, let's start building ourselves a theory, shall we? What do we know about these creatures? Well, first, we know that they're one of the game's neutral mobs, meaning that they're not going to attack you unless they're actively provoked. This is already interesting because it means that, in many ways, they come in peace. I mean, look at the list of mobs and all of their behavior patterns. Anything else that's nice to
It's so swag how you can make a storyline in a block game scary. I agree. Script? Well, duh, there's a script. There's no way that MatPat could freehand 15 minutes of content. There's no way. Theater kids in a script, you know what I'm... Yeah, well, yes. English degree like Technoblade. That's what I'm talking about.
Villager or a zombie pigman, which is weird and honestly merits an episode of its own for another day. Everything, and I mean everything else, is hostile. Except for the Enderman. So already there's a bit of an odd, tenuously peaceful relationship between us and the Enderman, but it gets even weirder when you consider that they're the only other creatures other than Steve or Alex able to move blocks. Sure, they're kind of picky about what blocks they pick up, but carrying blocks is an ability only shared between our character and the Enderman. As the mob bestiary says, quote, they will not just pick up any block, but will choose only clay, dirt and sand, flowers and other plants, and rather oddly TNT.
Imagine a freaking Enderman just comes around on like a massive redstone build, just places a block of TNT on some activated redstone dust. Imagine the chaos. Wow, I honestly would just destroy any Enderman that ever crossed my path thereafter. I would, no questions asked.
Some claim the Enderman is indulging in a form of play or attempting to communicate.
If TNT on the redstone is a form of play, I don't know what they think play is.
Speaking of communication, we also know that
yes, Ranboo. Yes, Enderman. Oh, man.
Listen to some of the sound clips from when Endermen are idling near you. You hear it? There's clearly
just a little casual arson,
a real language that we as
just a little casual arson, just a little bit.
Again, you should be hearing, hey, hello. This next one is really clear. What's up?
Oh my gosh.
Look for the eye.
I'm pausing a lot, but it's fine. Chat, when I saw this video for the first time, mind, because like I've never put that together. I'm not smart enough to put that together. You disrespect my family, so I commit arson on your island. Oh, okay. Right. I never put that together. So when I watched this video for the first time, when my friend Colin recommended to me that I watch these videos, I lost my freaking mind. That and it's so fun to listen to Enderman now and just be like, oh, they're saying hi.
Presumably is referencing eyes of Ender, items that allow you to find strongholds where they're used to activate a portal to the end, home of the Enderman and the game's final boss, the Ender Dragon. So we have ourselves neutral creatures who are able to move blocks, just like us, and have language abilities far beyond what we hear elsewhere in the game from characters like the villagers. It's certainly a lot of odd similarities to be sure, but far from airtight evidence that the Endermen are somehow related to men.
Hear me out. The what's up also sounds like Philza.
Look at their home. The end is a weird final dimension for Minecraft. It honestly feels to me like where the game started to run out of money.
We'll have to check this out. Check that out after this video.
The whole thing just being a bunch of endstone and purple blocks, ugly purples and yellows.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. Shulker, worst mob.
Chunks of landscape missing and giant cities that you can visit far off in the distance, all of which are eerily empty. This is the home of the Enderman, sure. Even the mob bestiary says it. But look closer and you see that while the Endermen may call this dimension home, and they certainly wander around in the empty open landscapes, these giant looming Thanos purple buildings aren't for them. What do I
Thanos
mean by
purple.
that? Well,
The new
let's
color
take a
scale.
look inside the end
What a shame.
cities. There's tons of great loot hidden all over the place, but something's wrong with that list. None of these items are actually useful to the Enderman.
True.
They don't wear armor, they don't attack with swords, and they certainly don't ride animals. Heck, there are no animals in the end to ride. Even the fact that the items are kept in chests should be a huge red flag here. Remember, Endermen are only picking up certain blocks, and none of those blocks entail chests. They can't use these things or the thing that stores those things. All of this points to the idea that dense cities
Hold on.
those things.
We gotta watch that back again.
They can't use these things or the thing that stores those things.
Oh.
Cities weren't built by the Endermen. They were built by and for someone else. Some other ancient people who managed to get to the end.
Oh, I love this.
When you start up a new survival mode
I
game,
love it.
you
I'm a big
enter
fan of
blank
this.
World. Immediately you notice that you're the only one of your kind. Oh, sure, as you adventure, you'll come across NPCs like the villagers, but they're not like you. They don't look like you. They can't build
Sounds
like
like that
you.
molar
You
rat
and
from
the villagers
Zootopia,
are
though. Sounds so
fundamentally
posh.
different.
Oh,
It's
no.
almost as if you're a
Oh,
different
no.
species. This fact is even supported by zombie attacks. When bit, a villager doesn't transform into a normal zombie. It turns specifically into
Come
a
forth, new
zombie
zom.
villager. Regular zombies and zombie
That's a
villagers
sentence
are
you
different.
always
In
hear
fact,
that one every
the
day.
only times that you ever really see anything that looks even remotely like you, it's always in the form of undead enemies. Zombies,
zombie.
drowned, husks. It implies that once upon a time there were other humans here, but they all died en masse. It's a strange detail that you probably noticed, but you shrug it off and you can
So, he's done a theory on these guys. Hasn't covered these guys yet. I cannot wait until he does a theory about the husks. Or, what is it? The stray. The stray. Husk and stray. Cannot wait until that theory.
continue on your journey. Then you start discovering
If it happens,
pre-existing
obviously.
structures, mine shafts, temples in the desert, monuments underwater, all abandoned, all of them lost to time. Again, you're the only person who can build things in this world, and you certainly didn't build any of these things, so where did they come from?
Steve Enderwalk? Question mark. Steve Enderwalk? He actually did build all these things, but he enderwalked and didn't remember it.
Making things even more suspicious is the fact that ruins like desert temples are protected by cleverly designed booby traps. Elaborate fake floors complete with pressure plates and grids of TNT. It all points to one thing. An advanced society of builders once lived in the overworld, but have since disappeared. So that begs the question, where did they go? Maybe they all died, which in turn led to the armies of the
Same.
undead mobs that we have to guard against every night. And while I certainly think that that's part of it, it's not the whole story. Because we know that they went somewhere, teleported somewhere. And while they could have gone any number of places, we know for
Teleportation
a fact
noises.
that one of the places they ended up was the end. How can we be so sure? Strongholds. Strongholds are the hidden ancient ruins that contain massive portals to the end. Whatever this ancient society was, they were so advanced that they could figure out how to build these things, which in turn makes them more
You have a
advanced
point.
than
I
even
know.
you, the player. In survival mode, you can't craft the end frames necessary to construct this thing. In order to travel to the end, you
Right,
must
hold on. Chat, I'm wondering if I probably ought to restart stream just to get rid of the delay.
find these portals hidden within the stronghold. And let's stop there for a minute. I mean, have you ever thought to question that name? Stronghold? It's a pretty odd choice. Personally, I would think it to be like the portal room, or the gateway room, or the altar, or something,
gateway
anything
room.
like that. But instead, the designers of Minecraft named it Stronghold, a term
okay,
that
yes.
refers to a highly secure structure built for defending against attacks. And there's that idea again. An
You're back.
ancient
Welcome back,
civilization
Tokyo.
of advanced builders that was quickly dying. A group of builders,
Man.
just like our player, who were being threatened in the overworld and needed an
What? Overworld? Overworld? What? Huh? This guy? This guy in the overworld? Okay.
escape. And
Okay,
what they
Matthew
created was a
Patthew.
portal to another dimension. The end, where, wouldn't you know it, they built cities to store the items and armor from their previous world. But there was one thing that they didn't expect, that this would be a one-way trip, that the portal would close up behind them, leaving them stranded in a strange and barren wasteland. Sure,
That is
they
only
were safe
mildly
from
the
whatever
worst,
was
I'm
killing
gonna
them in
be
the
honest.
overworld, but now they were trapped in a wasteland. a wasteland guarded by an unstoppable dragon, and they came unprepared. Based on what we see in the chests, they came in with swords and armor and horses. Effective weapons to be sure, but not against an otherworldly foe.
No
a
kidding.
giant foe that
Big fan of the
flies around
Matthew
and acts
Patthew
with
lore.
towering beacons that restore its health. They couldn't defeat this thing, hence why it's still living.
That's really
when
said
we
I fit in,
arrive.
ha ha ha
And
ha.
as we know from the game,
Cool.
the only way out of the end is through defeating the Ender
Oh.
Dragon. And since
Pigeon
they couldn't,
tamer, let's
they were
go.
stuck, trapped there for generations. They learn to live in harmony with the dragon. They make a new life with whatever limited resources they have there, building homes using the strange end stones and purple blocks. They run out of food and soon have nothing to eat, so they turn to the strange chorus.
I feel like the theory that supports the builders having built end cities is because if you look at structures like the Nether Fortress and the Stronghold and the Ocean Monument, they're all very big and very intricate and very, very, like, specific in how things go. I don't know what that was. But, like, the end cities are built the exact same way, right? The end cities are built specifically so that, well, A, very tall, hard to reach, which, you know, would help kind of support the growing Enderman people argument. So that's kind of neat.
Fruits found there. Chorus fruits, which, funny enough, have teleportation properties. And over time,
Wow.
they begin to change. They adapt to their new surroundings. Oh, sure. they
Oh, that
retain
transition.
some human features, according to the diagram.
Who built the fortresses? There's actually a theory about that. We'll get to that in a second.
And they have the flat faces and wide eyes indicative of humans. They still do vaguely look like our player character, but they evolve to grow taller, which makes picking the tall stalks of chorus fruit easier. Similar to how giraffes' necks got longer to more easily reach higher up.
That is all. That's all I have to add to
The
that.
teleportation abilities starts to rub off on them. So instead of having to rely on ender pearls to teleport around, they instead naturally gain the ability from their diet. Over time,
Also,
they
Chad, I
slowly
probably should have
forget
asked,
their
how's the
ability to
YouTube
build.
volume right now?
I mean, why build when there's no escape?
How's
When
the
there's
YouTube
not
volume?
even
Do I need to
enough
turn it up a little
resources
bit?
with which to craft? But they still retain the ability to pick up blocks. Though their skill for speech gets forgotten, they do retain a rudimentary language,
Bonk.
still speaking
Yes.
those distorted words. This once great builder society slowly, generation after
Dang it.
generation, transforms into the Enderman. Even some of their memories may still remain. One odd detail of the Enderman is that wearing a pumpkin on your head prevents them from becoming aggressive. Maybe it reminds them, somewhere deep down, of a simpler time. Or of the
Oh,
friendly
welcome,
golems
Powerless.
that
Welcome
they
in.
construct
Rip
back
the
on
internet.
overworld.
Rip the internet.
Regardless, the civilization
I forgot about... Oh! Oh, I didn't even put that together, and I totally forgot. Oh, the Iron Golem thing. It makes so much sense, and it's so sad all at the same time.
is stuck there. Oh sure, some are able to teleport out into the overworld. or
my
together,
mood has
but
been
most
ruined.
are forced to live there under the rule of the dragon. And we know this isn't by choice, because when you finally arrive in the end, when you finally defeat their oppressor, the achievement we receive is free the end. The Endermen at this point are so far gone from the people they once were that they're no longer able to
Man.
appreciate what's happened. But in defeating the dragon, you as
I will say, how crazy is it? This is still on the Iron Golem thing. It's kind of crazy that after literal generations of Endermen, it's crazy that that behavior is just like natural now. I don't know what kind of like I don't know.
the player have brought closure to this oppressed civilization.
The Iron Golem theory. So, you know when you're in the end, the Iron Golem theory was that the reason that Endermen don't get mad when you look at them in the face with a pumpkin on is because with the builder theory, it reminds them of the iron golems that they would construct in the overworld before they were trapped in the end.
One that was forced to flee to a new dimension in order to survive, only to wind up trapped yet again. And that, my friends, is the story of Minecraft.
Wow.
You're a builder, and you follow in the path of the great builders who came before you. Endermites, where'd the villagers come from? And seriously, what is the deal with the zombie pigman?
Rip the OG. Rip the OG.
That's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks. That's just a theory. A game theory.
I ain't gonna lie, the Enderman do be vibin' though. So that's the Enderman. So, my little anecdote thing right here. Right, these guys. Right, chat? So, if you think about the loot in end cities, armor, tools, weapons, horse armor, saddles, beetroot seeds. Why are there beetroot seeds in the end. And why is there only beetroot seeds? My theory, chat. In the edit, I'm going to add some conspiracy music here. My theory is that these guys right here are just an evolved form of beetroot. Because we already know, right, in the end, things aren't exactly the same. The ground is a little bit, you know, stony. It's called end stone for a reason. And you'll notice, right, horse armor, horses, this is going to get a little dark. You'll notice horse armor and horses, right? There are no horses in the end. There are simply no horses. So, theory time. Horses, dead, right? What are you going to do? You're going to use their bodies to make fertilizer, to grow things, otherwise known as beetroot. Because for some reason, beetroot was the only thing that would grow in the end. And when combined with endstone, it made ground that was just fertile enough to grow chorus fruit. Because, I don't know, friggin' some end thing. I don't know how to explain it, but for some reason they planted beetroot and this weird like stocky thing came out, and that's chorus fruit. That's the chorus plant. That's the chorus flower. That is my theory about why horse armor, saddles, and beetroot seeds are in the end cities. Beetroot seeds and fruit. Chorus fruit. That's what it's called. So, now that we've covered that, that is the end of the first video. So we're going to move on to disc.
I missed a tell, this is the issue.